everybody, Caleb here. Today I've got a little Rogue guitar. Now I know what most people are thinking when I say Rogue guitar, and you'd be pretty accurate on what it is. But this is one of those ones that I got a friend of mine who asked if I could take a look at it because they'd like to pick up guitar again, I think. But it's got a little bit of a break in it. You can see right there. So we're going to see what we can do about that, and basically anything else we can do pretty quick. That doesn't cost much, that sort of thing. I've done these before where I'm gonna try to make it as good as I can make it with the least amount of time spent, therefore money spent on it. So I've already loosened the strings. We got to get this off of here so we can glue that neck back down. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. We'll get there in a minute, but I'll set this down and pull these strings off of here. Alright, so we gotta start taking this thing apart here. First thing, we gotta get these strings off. I'm just gonna attempt to pull these pins. This is not gonna work. I'll try something else. When in doubt, the metal pin puller usually succeeds. At least get them started. Pins are in there. There we go. And normally I keep track of these, make sure they go back in the same hole they came out of. I really suspect this will not matter. On this particular instrument. I'm going to go ahead and get some new strings. These are kind of old. I say kind of. These are pretty old. I think I'm going to stick my hand in there and try to do this from the inside. So let me pull this a little bit closer to me. And we'll do this. There we go. Last one. Just want to check this out, see what it's looking like. Yeah, it's got a shim in there, but it fits pretty tight side to side. I'm pretty impressed by that at least. I'm actually thinking of just taking that shim out of there altogether. The action's a little high, or it looked it. Granted, it's a little hard to tell with broken neck, but for right now, I'm going to take that shim out of there. That's pretty thick. I may not. I'll take all of that out of there instead of this side for right now. Put my string pullers away. Put that away. We'll pull these strings off of here. And the first thing I want to do is fix this neck. It's broken, and it ought not be. Okay, these are garbage. And now, let's look at this. So, we've got a break right here. I was picking pieces out of this with a little tool a little earlier. Trying to figure out how good, bad, or otherwise it was. Somebody put something in there, some amount of glue previously, but it was not much glue because obviously it didn't connect well. Now what I'm curious about is if I clamp this, will it actually close? Because right now there's a lip. So I'm going to go grab a clamp and we'll see. looks okay. It's not great though. I wonder if we're not just missing pieces now that we weren't missing initially. I guess let me take a second here and attempt to clean this out a little bit more. Alright, so I was looking at this. I did get this broken joint to move freely. That's good. What I was thinking was, I should probably check the neck angle, because that's probably affecting the neck angle. And so I did, and it was bad. It was really bad, which probably was really bad to start off with, considering the price range this guitar falls in. So I thought, it's broken. You know, we might be able to address some stuff. We could probably get a little bit of a fudge factor in there to help us make for a better neck angle. So I went and got what ended up being a way too long board, but I clamped it to the fretboard here, pretty tight in 2 spots, and then the actual shim that was in the nut slot I took out and put on top of the bridge. So this is actually pushing that to a slightly better neck angle, which you can kind of see it flex a little bit if I grab it way back here and have all that mechanical advantage. But this should put us at a slightly better neck angle if we get it to stick here. What I'm going to end up doing now is just getting a bigger clamp and going in right here underneath the heel and clamping it down. Something like this. Now I don't have any glue in there yet, so we still have to do that yet, but we're moving in the right direction. What I think we're going to end up doing is kind of flipping this on its side one way or another, which doesn't particularly matter, I guess. And this is going to be hard to show. I'll see if I can't move the camera to a slightly better spot. I guess we can go right there. So we're going to try to get some glue in that joint now. That's going to be fun. I'm going to grab a paintbrush real quick. This is a slightly moist paintbrush, which actually is going to end up helping us, because it'll thin the glue down a little bit. And I recognize this is making a big old mess, but considering what we're doing here, I'd rather make a big old mess and have to clean up a big old mess than have this come unstuck after I think it's good. So now what we can do is we can kind of flex that and try and pump some glue a little deeper in. Ultimately, that wood glue won't stick to the finish. It just won't. It'll come off with a little bit of water, one way or another. Just trying to work something in there to hopefully move some glue around inside. We're talking about a really, really small glue joint here. So I really got to try to make sure we get glue all the way inside. Okay. brand new roll of paper towels. First thing we'll do is try and wipe off what we got. Second thing we'll do is clamp this up. This one's slide off. Yeah, I can see. I can see a small amount of squeeze out coming. I think we're going to end up with some gaps just because we've lost pieces. But I think that's going to do it. At least solid up that neck. We'll do a little bit of blending here. It is way better than it was. I can tell that. But we'll do some blending to see what we can't do to make that smooth at least. But for now, for the next couple hours, I think that's kind of what we're getting. I'll wet down a cloth real quick. Just do one more cursory cleanup job here. See what I can't pull off. Looks good. Alright, cool. So we'll let that dry. I'll probably end up letting that dry overnight, and we'll finish this thing up tomorrow. I don't want to spend more time on it than tomorrow. Alright, so first thing next morning, let's get this all off of here. I already pulled one off. Let's get the rest of them off of here. And for the sake of argument, let's just take a look at this real quick. Well, that's better. It's still pretty bad. The neck angle is better. Which, I'll take that. This looks okay. It's not phenomenal, but it looks okay. I probably will try and even this out a little bit so it feels better at least. It's going to look worse as it feels better, so that's something we've got to look forward to. What I might do is just get it feeling good today, and we'll finish up, and then I'll go from there and do any finish work I want to do. But we're making progress. Let's check these frets, see if there's any notable deficiencies there. While we're moving forward here. I don't see any excessive wear. I'm going to do this real quick. It's honestly pretty solid. There's one or two spots that were maybe a little high, but nothing I'm going to worry about, truthfully. I'm going to take some 600, I think, maybe 1200, but I think it's 600, and just knock these all back. This board is dirty. Every single one of these is not in great shape, and I just filed on just this one a little bit, so it needs it. The rest of them just could use it. As far as like Fretboard goes, it feels great, honestly. This thing's doing really good in regards to the edge. It's just these frets are pretty dirty. Well, they look less crusty than they did, and that's an improvement. Okay, that's looking good. Let's start on some micro polishing pads here. I got them all. I think I got 2 different sets sitting here. That's okay. We'll hit these real quick, and we're going to be done here pretty much. Last one. Alright. Those look really good. The frets are very well polished at this point. Kind of show that off to you. They got a good shine to them. I need to clean up the board now, so I need a good razor blade for that. Would you believe it? Didn't take me long to find one. We will finish this up with a good oiling. Let me shake this up a little bit. This Be Good wood oil. And just like that, we're looking at a different guitar. So we've got a good fretboard now. We know we're good in the level. We're very well polished, nice and cleaned up. Feels real good. Cool. I'm glad to have that. I could have hit the bridge too while I had it out. Use just some of the excess here. Let's get that bridge to match the fretboard. Yeah. Looks good. Looks real good. So, I think I'm going to come back to here. And I think we're going to hit this with something. I hate to go sanding in here, but I think I don't have much of an option to get it smooth. Ultimately, you're not doing this too much, but sometimes you are. And I don't want to grab that too badly, so we might ditch this for a minute. Let's see what we can do to get that smooth. Well, I can't really show it to you here as I do it, but what I've done is I've taken a strip of 300 or 320, I think, and I'm just kind of working it back and forth over here. And yeah, I've made it look worse. I've taken some finish off, but it feels a lot better. I can kind of show that to you here. It looks not great, but it's starting to be a smooth transition, and that's what I was really aiming for here, was a smooth transition. What I really wanted to get there was, yeah, just get this smooth. So basically I'm just doing like this, where I've got room to actually do it. But it feels better. It looks worse, but if I actually hold this thing, yeah, it's basically invisible as long as you're playing. I will go ahead and do a little bit of finish work. I probably won't do that today, but like I said, I wanted to get this done today. I'll go out and spray this with a couple coats of something quick so it'll dry fast. And for the value of this instrument, spraying it at all is being generous, I think. But yeah, at least now it feels invisible, and that's kind of the important part here. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go clean this thing up. This thing is dirty. I've got a couple of ways to do that. First off, I've got a slightly moist towel. So let's just give it a wipe down, or moisten the top and give it a wipe down. And then I'll go take this to the buffing wheel, the one I just got from Jerry. And clean this up. That's the thing about black guitars, is it shows off everything. Every little tiny speck shows up real bad. So I'll take this to the buffing wheel real quick. We'll see how that ends up. And then I think we'll string this thing back up. Alright, so I stuck this saddle back in here. I think we were just about ready for strings, and I'm not liking the way it's fitting. I'm not sure it's reaching the bottom. It might be. Yeah, it is. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Because I took that shim out because I didn't want to use it anymore. I didn't think we would need it, especially because the neck angle is not great. So I figured we'd need to lower the saddle anyways. Regardless, I think we're doing good here. So let's put some strings on here. We're going to put some brand new strings on this. If I can remember how these go. It's been a minute. So you can see I cleaned this up. You can probably see my reflection really good in there. Yeah, guitar cleaned up pretty good. Like I said before, black guitars, they really do like to show off any little imperfection you can have. I'll tell you what, so far it still looks a little high. I suspect it's going to be, which is kind of to be expected on a guitar like this. You kind of expect it to run that way. And like I said, the neck angle is pretty bad. It is not good by any stretch of the word. So I'll go ahead and get this strung up. We're going to look at how bad it is. Well, I got it tuned up. And it's bad. Let me show you. That's a big gap. That's a big gap. It's nearly unplayable. Makes me feel real good, you know, real confident. I'm gonna have to shave basically everything off of this saddle. Already guarantee it. Already guarantee it. Yeah. Anything that saddle has to give, it's gotta give. So my goal is no longer get this perfect. My goal is to get this playable. Yikes. Alright, so I lowered the strings and took the saddle out. I've got this set at 100 thousandths, but here's the thing I'm thinking about. I'm not sure if this is going to do it. This might be a lost cause on playability here. Not to say that I couldn't get it playable, but we might be talking about either I'm going to shave the bridge, and that's not really great, or even talking about possibly, I mean, it needs a neck reset, but here's the thing. Taking a neck out is a multi-hour job. The cost, ultimately, it runs down to about an hour of my labor cost more than this guitar. So, if we're talking a multi-hour job, we're really out of luck. I'm going to go shave 100 thousandths off this. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, this is not a typical customer instrument. This is a friend of mine bought this at a pawn shop. He might be going home with a different guitar. That's all I got to say, I guess. We'll see. We will see. Well, it's not great. It's really, really not great. I lowered the saddle down by 100 thousandths at least, and we're still way over 100 thousandths at the 12th fret. And there's basically nothing left of that saddle down there. You can see. You could play it down in the cowboy chords. But I don't think I can send it back to this, especially to somebody I know, somebody local. So I think I've come up with a solution. A couple months ago, I received in the mail this guy, this Van Gogh guitar, this green one over here. They sent me this one for review a little while ago, and I did, and I enjoyed it, and it plays pretty good. And it needs tuned, but I think I'm just going to end up sending this home with him. I'll send the Rogue with him too, but you know, I can't in good conscience send home the guitar that don't real work. The strings up here are low. So you can actually play this thing really easily. And this is really, I think, going to be like a learner guitar. I think he's just trying to get started here. I think he's just going to have an easier time on something like this. So, a little bit of a bummer. I think what we just run into is the fact is the more cost-effective thing for this guitar, this Black Rogue, it would be more cost-effective to just go buy a new one than it would be to fix it. It would take too much time, and I don't think it's a good idea. So I think I'm going to end up sending this home with this one so he can have his Black Rogue, but I think I'm going to send the Van Gogh home. Of course, I wasn't charging for what I was doing here anyway, because I was thinking we'll do the best we can with what we got, try to do it quick, and I'm not going to charge anything for any of this. But we'll get somebody who wants to learn guitar, a guitar to learn on. So I hope you enjoyed the little bit of work. I'm sorry we didn't get a real happy ending on this one, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.